Alright, so now I got this all in prime. So now I just got to come in. I'm going to sand this down. So far, with the body filler, when I did all the body work in here with the body filler, I used 36 grit. So now I'm going to come in with 120 and sand and make sure that all my low spots, everything is nice and flat. And I use like it's a primer fill with body filler in it, and then I come through with some urethane primer after I sand this with 150. I'll spray it down, clean it off, blow it off, get all the sand, the dust off from the sanding, and then I come in with after I do the urethane, I come in with 600 grit, wet and dry sandpaper, sand this down, then it'll be ready to paint. I do gotta do one last fitting, make sure back here is low enough to fit up under there. After I do that last fitting, I come in and then this thing will be ready to paint. I'm gonna paint it the same color that the car is gonna be on the outside. So come in and get this done, guys. All right, so I come in first and I'm gonna spray this down with the sandable primer. All right, guys, so as you see here, I have this rear deck. We're going to get it sanded up and painted this weekend. And I high build primer this like twice, and then sanded it down with 150. Now I just sprayed urethane primer on here. Let this sit for a couple of days. Now, one thing about the high build slick sand, those primers don't shrink as much as the urethanes do here. So I just wanted this to dry a couple of days. It'll still, you know, how can I put this back? Before they came out with the newer primers, that's why guys used to prime their car, let it sit for a month or two, then prime it again. And that way you just know all the shrinking is out, you know. Let it sit a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, you know, just make sure it's shrunk down. Then you sand it, prime it again. But these days the primers, they don't shrink as much. But this urethane primer that I use, I wanted it to sit for a few days, kind of cure, shrink, you know, a couple of days. This is not a major piece, but I still wanted everything uniform. I did a lot of body work on this thing, guys. So I'm gonna come in here now and I'm gonna wet sand this baby down. Alright, so I got all of this wet sanded now with 600. So now in here, you're not really going to see this in here. So I'm going to come in with 150. And I just want to scuff this up, you know, sand this down where the paint, the epoxy primer is going to sit in here, guys, and stick. Then I come through with the speakers and sit the speakers in here and just make sure everything is sanded out. So sanding the sides, but I also I'm gonna sand the bottoms too, even though the speakers sit there, but I want everything sanded and painted. So like I said, 150 on this, I'll be okay. So. Alright, so I just pour water on there. Now I come through and dry this down. So I'm going to come in and I want to check the fitment of my speakers. Alright, those are fitting in there good. Alright, so anyway, I got these in here. I don't know how I got this so wrong, but I did want these level. So I had always said that if these were sitting in here too low, that what I'm gonna have to do is put me a wood ring around at the bottom, measure, see how high I need to come up, and then I can screw the wood into the wood up under the bottom to hold these up. These are flush, and I wanted these to be even, so they about right there. So yeah, I gotta get these up, guys, but at least now I know all the speakers are fitting in there. When I raise that up, I can do that after I paint it, but now I could come in now and get this thing painted up now, guys. So alright, so I started, I'm just doing a direct acrylic on here, but I got the sealer on there now, guys. So I just wanted to come in here and show you here real quick. I mean, I got the epoxy primer. On there, guys. So I had started this, but I stopped. I wanted to come in and show you, put the black epoxy primer over there. Now I'll come in and spray this down with the direct acrylic. So, alright. Single stage paint, guys. Alright. So there she go, guys. She's finally done. Alright, guys, rear speaker deck, number 9, guys. So now I got this all done up. I'll be getting mixed up on where I'm at sometime. Part 1, part 9, part 10. But this is number 9. So part 10, the final one will be once I get the grills painted up, get the speakers in it, And the back deck could be sitting in the back of the 70 Wildcat, guys. But that's how that turned out. It's should be dry. Yeah, it's dry. It ain't cured, but it's dry because painted about 2 hours ago now. But she turned out good, guys. So let me know what you think. I know this is kind of old school, but this is old school. This is the way guys did stuff back 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But that's what I'm going for. This car, the 70 Wildcat, is going to be customized. And I think that rear deck is going to look good back there, guys. So